Welcome to yet another episode of Band Stripped, where we watch a singer-songwriter or a band play an unplugged set with us. Our guest tonight is talented singer-songwriter Andrew Proome, who will be playing 3 songs for us. So check it out right here on Hot 919's Facebook and YouTube sites. Welcome to the Hot 919 Unplugged studio.
How's it doing? Thanks for having me, man.
Excellent. You're most welcome, man. I was very excited to have you on the show. I remember playing with you some years back at Smugglers, I think.
Yeah, the greatest Smugglers, yeah.
And those days you had hair. Like a lot of, well, you still have hair.
I've still got hair.
But you had a lot more hair then.
It's disappearing slowly or quickly, and it's growing up, but yeah, it's shorter now. And
it's all part of the beautiful aging process.
Yeah.
Andrew, for our listeners out there on Hot 919, can you tell us, where are you from?
Well, I've always been a Joburg boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in Zimbabwe, but I can't remember that.
Yeah.
So purely from Joburg, but did my little stunt like everyone from South Africa does and goes through to London, spend some time there and act like a hooligan, and then come back again. So
how long were you in London for?
I was there for 6 years.
I'm assuming a musical journey took you there.
No, adolescence. Actually, it's quite a long story, but basically, I was not the greatest teenager, and the folks decided to buy me an air ticket and said, "Leave the house and go and
let's go put him on that island and let him hassle them." Yeah,
and then eventually, I kind of walked around with a guitar, but didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had a band that actually drew me in and kind of showed me the ropes.
Were you musical before your trip?
I think I was musical, but I don't think I had ability.
Yeah.
The technique wasn't there, and joining a band, you've all of a sudden got to play in time and all that sort of nonsense. So I fiddled, though.
So the harnessing of your ability actually started in London. That journey started in London.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. So from the age of about 20, that's when things started kind of rolling
and clicking into place.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to join some dudes that had experience. They had done many albums together with other bands and all the rest of it. So set me up right from the beginning, which I was really fortunate. So they understood the recording process, they understood the gigging, and they taught all of that to me, which was, I think, a lot of patience from their side.
And the songwriting part, obviously, you started in the band as a musician or as a songwriter, singer?
So I started as purely rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
And that's where I enhanced my skill. But then I started the writing process there. And literally, I was writing constantly while I was at work, when I should have been working.
Yeah.
On the way home, sitting on a tube at home, sitting in my basement where I lived. I've just got tons and tons of material from those days.
Hooked on the bug.
Yeah.
How many days a week do you play the guitar?
Not enough, actually. Yeah. Unfortunately.
If you could do it, you do it 8 days a week, you say.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunately being an adult and is hard work.
Yeah.
You got responsibilities and you got to pay bills, and music doesn't always cover that. So,
sure.
You got to do a day job, and I'm running my own company, so it's pretty tough. Because then you've got all the other little issues in the evenings which you got to sort out, like admin and marketing.
Listen, I know the feeling. I wish I could play more than I do now, but it is what it is. And
that's why I keep on telling kids, play now.
While you have the time.
If there's a kid listening, play now.
Yeah. While you have the time to do it in absolute abundance, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Your first track that you're going to be playing for us is a track called Journey, which is an instrumental track, am I right?
Yeah.
What is the story behind this song?
Funny enough, it's the one song that kind of got me back into guitar again. So I left guitar for about 5-6 years to concentrate on piano.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends was getting married near Newcastle and said they want me to play guitar there. Wow. And I was like, now I've got to learn how to play guitar again, and started playing. And then I ended up writing a song for their wedding. And it was, at the time, was based on them having a journey together through their lives and being told purely from an instrumental side. But later on, thinking about it, it's kind of the journey of relationships in general, friendships to colleagues to wife and husband kind of
So
scenario.
it's a track that can be applied to anyone on their particular or personal journey, right?
That's it, yeah. But I mean, it's purely instrumental. So if you want to sing along, I'll
just jump in there. If you're at home and you're listening and you want to sing along, this is Journey by Andrew Proome. Welcome back to Band Stripped. That was Andrew Proome's Journey. Andrew, what a wonderful and relaxed song.
Thank you, man. I hope everyone's still awake.
How long did it take you to write that?
That was actually really quick.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can sit painstakingly trying to write something for ages and ages, and sometimes it can just kind of pop into place. So, this one, it just kind of fell into my hands, really.
Yeah. Quite an intricate little chord structure on that there. So, I mean, which I picked up. And obviously for something like that to come, the inspiration for that is obviously very deep, very emotional.
Yeah, look, I enjoy playing it. And it's when you play music, you can actually see the response on how much energy you actually put on stage.
Yeah.
And I've noticed when you do feel a song like this, often can actually get the results that you want. Like I've actually had 2 people come up to me saying they've been crying because it reminded them of something.
Yeah.
So that to me is really cool.
You get a bit lost in.
I made 2 girls cry.
I'm surprised it's only 2, Andrew. I thought maybe more.
But in the same respect, I've made 2 people sleep with doing my instrumentals. So
Exactly.
and that's not a lie.
I suppose that's a good point to pick up on. What is it about playing live that you love most?
I've always had a motto that as long as you're impressing one person in the crowd, every muso has gone through either playing to a barman only,
Yes, exactly.
or to
hundreds of people.
Yeah, or there can be no one in the crowd, or there's hundreds of people that completely aren't listening to you.
Or there's somebody in the crowd asking you to please play Lenny Kravitz or the Eagles.
Yeah,
Right. You must have had that.
Yeah, I've got a list of songs that I don't play, and
What's the most requested song for you?
I've had everything, from Peter Gabriel to Mr. Tambourine Man.
Oh, right, okay. The Birds.
Well, I get a lot of blues requests, which is cool. But
well, that's a compliment, I suppose, stylistically.
Yeah, look, I think my voice kind of lends quite well to blues. But yeah, I've just got a very long list of songs that I'll just never play, like Stairway to Heaven.
Right.
As soon as people hear
House of the Rising Sun,
the instrumentals, they want to hear Stairway to Heaven,
That's
and
it.
I just can't do it.
Which is your favorite venue that you've played at so far? In Joburg?
In Joburg? So I used to really love Jack's acoustic sessions. Those were really, really fun to play at. I'm going to say that, actually, that the acoustic sessions, that was very cool.
And the acoustic sessions were played at different venues, weren't they? Or
No, it was
specific?
purely, I can't even remember the name of the property. I think it was Boscheville or...
I see.
Yeah, so that was really nice. It had kind of picnic vibe.
Yeah, full roster of
during
artists.
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe Jack's starting it up again.
Hopefully. Yeah.
He's got one coming up shortly, actually.
Giving singer-songwriters some hope, hey, to get on the stage and...
Yeah, but it's just that nice, relaxed atmosphere. It's like sitting in a park and everyone's just chilled.
And enjoying. Your next track that you've selected for us is a track called Did I Assume?
Yeah.
When did you write this?
The next 2 tunes are actually both written in London. And I actually wrote this for a female vocalist.
Yeah.
Who, when we saw her the one day, she had been going out with this guy for a while, and she just she was going, I thought everything was going really well, I thought this was the one. And then like the dude just stopped phoning her, stopped trying to contact her, ignoring her. And I wrote this tune for her actually to sing, but I left London a bit prematurely for that to happen. So,
Right.
So I've kind of doctored it into more of a male vocal. And yeah, so it's called Did I Assume, and just about just assumptions.
I suppose it can happen in relationships where people assume that it's going well and they're on a completely different page.
Yeah, I think there's many things in life,
I think many people...
I keep on assuming I'm going to win the lotto, but it's just...
You got to keep trying, man.
Oh yeah, I've got to buy a ticket and stuff.
Your chances are only 1 in like 300 million, but there's a chance.
There's a chance.
All right, you've heard it from Andrew. This is a song that obviously I think a lot of you out there may relate to. That at some point in your life you've assumed a relationship was going one way and it was going the other. This is Andrew Proome with Did I Assume?
Did I assume that you would call me? Waiting by the phone on the way to call. Did I assume? Did I assume that you were mine? Did I assume you keep your promise? Same old lie that I should have known. Did I assume that you were mine? Last night you were so good to me, so romancing, baby, as you brought me to my knees. And then you walked out and left me on my knees. Did I assume you'd be mine forever? Every noise I hear, think it's you at the door. Did I assume that you were mine?
Andrew, that was bluesy, that was cool, and a very classic blues style track.
Thank you, man.
I did not expect that.
You know,
I thought it was going to be something more sort of along the lines of more classic singer-songwriter stuff.
yeah.
But when you spoke about writing that song, but it's actually so bluesy, I can now feel the emotion of that poor girl.
It's basic tracks. I mean, the writing back then was very simple, and all
Yeah,
the
but
rest
that's
of it,
okay.
but
Some of the best songs in the world, are based on very simple chord structures.
Yeah.
For people out there that they just sound good.
Yeah.
It's easy to listen to, easy to follow, and I really enjoy that. Listen, I noticed that you were early for this particular interview.
Yeah.
Now, it's a classic musician question. Are you generally on time for things?
Yeah, well, especially for music, for some reason. Maybe not as much
Other
as
things, can you be late for things?
Yeah, I'm excited about music, so
Yeah.
I want to be on time for music. So every gig, I don't think I've ever been late for a gig.
I suppose it gets your passion stirred up, and then it's something you tuned into, and then you do it,
and
isn't it?
I'd love it. So
It's a musician's nightmare in general, being on time for things. I've noticed that.
I've noticed it, but I don't get it because
Yeah.
I want to be there. So.
Listen, it doesn't apply to everyone, so you are one of the exceptions to the rule. I see that, Andrew. What time do you wake up in the morning?
At the moment, I'm up at 5, trying to get my day going from that
Right.
time. Trying to
So
beat traffic.
what's going on at 5?
What's going on at
So
5?
you wake up in the morning, and is there a process?
I'm a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person.
What
so
settles you? Cup of coffee, milk?
couple of cups of coffee. I'm a nicotine and coffee addict. So a couple of cups of coffee,
Yeah.
couple of smokes,
Yeah.
and then I wake up around about 10.
So no gym work. No gym work in this, right?
No,
And at that time of the morning.
no.
Okay.
No, look, I'm actually on daytime job. I'm a carpenter, so
Yeah.
I think I do enough gym.
And that's interesting. Playing your guitar and working with your hands, both intricate little things. Have you ever banged your hand with a hammer or
Actually,
stapled yourself to something? Or
I put a chisel in my finger. We had to do a gig in Dahlstrom,
Yeah.
and the day before I decided to put a chisel into my barcode finger.
yeah, it's a high
Which
risk
a friend
job
of
for a
mine-
musician.
A friend of mine thought it was very funny that only a musician can have a name for a finger such as a barcode finger instead of the index finger.
That's very interesting because your next song is called "Don't Hold On."
Yeah.
And as a carpenter, if you
don't hold on.
yeah, sometimes you're holding on for too long, isn't it? And that's where you get nailed.
Yeah.
There's no pun intended in
Look
that.
at that.
I promise.
At that time, I was an office paper pusher at that point. So it's got nothing to do with carpentry. At
A
that
different time in a different world.
Yeah, based from the tree.
Yeah.
But
What's the song about?
The lyrics are kind of been adjusted, but it's really about being held back by your past.
Yeah.
And that often your past can actually hold you back from your future. Past can bring in all sorts of anxieties and confidence issues in people, and they don't want to push forward.
Right. So is the song about reflecting on that, or about being able to push forward from that?
It's a matter of stop or forget about your past and start looking more to the future.
So it's hopeful.
It's been turned into a song about a girl, because often songs go that direction, where she just can't relax, and she can't just be in the moment, where she's holding on to stuff that's happened to her in the past, or she can't go into a relationship because previous relationships have
she's hamstrung.
And I just realized now that both the songs are kind of about chicks having bad relationships.
It's not the same girl, is it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I'm a girl.
No, fantastic. Well, it's interesting. I'm always interested in the writing process, and what sparks that little idea that becomes eventually a 3 or 4 minute song. I'm always curious that every musician has something different that tunes them in.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of musos will write about themselves or experiences in themselves. I kind of try to look from experiences from other situations. Kind of sitting back and watching life go, and you get the little stories from other people's lives, it's
always interesting.
Which is cool.
I find it very interesting.
So at the moment I'm busy writing a song about people gossiping about a certain girl, and saying, well, do you actually know her? And because I've seen that in many instances where people talk about other people but they don't know them. So that's my project I'm on at the moment. So.
Sounds like Twitter.
Yeah, social media, but gossip's been there for many years, and it's not going to go away.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. This is Andrew Proome's last track on Bandstrip. It's a track called Don't Hold On.
Don't stand alone there, girl, looking deep and into the night. Just cast away, walk astray from emotions to learn and how to fight. Don't go and holding on. Where's your heart kept? Or your soul can't seem to find where they're at. Love is grand, girl, I'm so glad. Still on why you wanna throw that. Don't go and holding on. Don't go and holding on. This morning and watch you dress all bathing and in the lights. I stop to wonder what's on your mind. Are you thinking, are we all alright? Don't go and holding on. Don't go and holding on.
Thank you very much, Andrew. That was wonderful. I love the opening of the song. Gave off a very French vibe, and I can picture all these percussion instruments. What's the full song makeup like?
So it's the drums supposed to be bossa nova, very bass driven,
right?
And long solo stuff. I would love to put horns in it, or like a brass section, but so very thin, just with guitar and vocals, but it really comes together when you've got some percussion and bass there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you for gracing us with your talent on the show. And before we leave, we'd like to tell the audience where you're playing next. I think you've got a gig on the 25th of April and one on the 1st.
Yeah, so there's 25th is at Josie Show Bar,
Right.
new venue. To all the musos that want to play there, I'd recommend it. It's a very cool
Nice.
venue. And to all people that want to go through there, it's really, really cool.
And then on Workers' Day on the 1st of May,
Yeah, so that's at Rusty's, 1st of May, so you've got no excuse. You can't
it's
be
a
late for
holiday.
work.
Everyone should
Yeah,
be there, isn't
yeah.
it?
It's pity the holiday's not the day after, but...
And where can people find you on social media?
So you can find me on Andrew Proome Music.
Facebook?
Facebook. You can find some stuff on SoundCloud. There's going to be a new release. I actually did the recording of, did I assume, a couple of weeks back. So that should be being
Fantastic.
released shortly.
We look forward to that there.
And we've got some recordings together, part of a duo called Dynamite Mountains. So we're actually going to be playing the Josie Show Bar and Rusty's as well. So yeah, that's a duo, amazing female vocalist, Shayla DeSantos.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to that, Andrew, and thank you very much for joining us once again. That was Andrew Proome's band, Stripped, and don't forget, you can catch him at those venues on the 25th and the 1st of May. And you can catch this featurette, if you're listening out there. This video featurette will be published later on in the week on Facebook and on YouTube on the Hot 919 page. This was Band Stripped. That was the very talented Andrew Proome right here on Band Stripped on Hot 919 and Hot TV. A nice, beautiful, dark, enigmatic and broody set to spoil you with. So please check out this featurette on Facebook and in YouTube, and please make sure you share.